The New York Knicks are down two impactful players for the first game of the year tonight versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we got to break it all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Knicks Basketball 365. If you're a New York Knicks fan, hit that subscribe button. But getting into the news for today, coming from Sports Illustrated, the Knicks have been somewhat cryptic with the status of Robinson, the longest tenured active New Yorker, set to enter his 8th tour of Manhattan. The team has expressed plans for him to engage in load management this year, particularly in cases of back-to-back road trips. Now, of course, Mitchell Robinson has suffered with a lot of injury concerns over the course of his last couple years in New York. He has been, unfortunately, dealing with a lot of lower body injuries. It's what happens with a lot of 7-footers. When you're a human being that's that tall, you're just more likely to get injured. Also, when you're a human being who ends up pissing off Joel Embiid in the playoffs, you're also more likely to be injured. And I do think these ankle injuries are a little bit of that still lingering over. Really, really dirty play from Joel Embiid when we faced them a couple of years ago in the playoffs. But Mitchell Robinson out to open the year versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, he is an injury-prone player, but when he's on the basketball court, it's absolutely amazing because it gives us the opportunity to run our double big lineup with Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson, where, you know, one guy is Karl-Anthony Towns, the great shooter, but poor defense. Mitchell Robinson, the complete opposite. Zero shooting to be seen, but tremendous defense, one of the best rim protectors that the NBA has to offer when he's healthy, and for whatever reason, just has a PhD in offensive rebounding, always knows where to be when the ball's coming off the backboard. Also, just, you know, a demon on the boards in general. But you may be asking, where do the New York Knicks turn if Mitchell Robinson is not going to be able to go? And Sports Illustrated has, spoiled the next guy, but saying with neither Robinson or Hart available, the Knicks could potentially turn to sophomore center Ariel Hukporti to fill in the paint void. Hukporti, the final pick of the 2024 draft, earned fleeting rotational time last season before a meniscus injury derailed his freshman momentum. So, if you paid close attention, you would have noticed number 55, Ariel Hukporti. In the NFL, they call him Mr. Irrelevant, the final pick of the draft, but Hukporti was certainly not irrelevant for Knicks fans when he was able to be on the basketball floor. He performed pretty well. It was a little bit rough for him in the beginning of the season, as it is with most rookies. He just got to figure out his footwork and learn how to be the paint beast that I believe Hukporti can be for this team going forwards in the future. He is very exciting because he is another very tall player, just like Mitchell Robinson. Obviously, he's a basketball center. That's what you expect, but he is another paint beast, someone who is just going to be a menace inside and someone that other basketball teams do not want to deal with. Currently, Hukporti is listed as the 4th string center on the depth chart for the Knicks, but with Mitchell Robinson being out tonight, and then Karl-Anthony Towns starting at the 4 spot or starting at the 5 spot. We're going to see how they roll out the roster tonight, how new head coach is going to run that. There will definitely be minutes to be had for Ariel Hukporti. There's also going to be more minutes because no longer is our head coach, Tom Thibodeau is not the head coach anymore. He's not, our new head coach is not too scared to play really young guys. He's also not too scared to play more players. This team, this year, the New York Knicks will be going to a deeper rotation to hopefully keep guys healthier for the playoffs. Just a little bit worried that maybe they're not going to have the same edge that the Tom Thibodeau teams always had in the playoffs, because you could always say that Tibbs played the guys too many minutes, and he did play them too many minutes. Maybe he ran them too hard, and he did run them too hard. But when it came to the playoff time, the New York Knicks were kind of like the Miami Heat, where you always knew they were going to play harder than the other team. So even if they were under-talented or, like 2 years ago, injured, you knew they were going to play really, really hard, and they were going to put up a really, really good fight in the playoffs, no matter which players were still on the basketball floor. But this year, we're going to see how the new coaching staff is going to handle the rotations, minutes. We already know for a fact that it's going to be less minutes for the starters, more minutes for backups, and that's not only because of the head coaching change, but also because of the depth that has been added to this roster in the offseason. A lot of exciting guards to be added and to be found, but we're going to talk about them more with the next injury. Gershon Yabusele, the free agent pickup over the summer, is the guy that I have not mentioned yet. That's another big man who's going to have a major impact in rotational spots for the New York Knicks coming off the bench this season. But moving on to our next injury update. The Josh Hart also out for tonight's game. Coming from Sports Illustrated, Hart, however, lasted just 7 minutes in the preseason, hurting his back while going after a rebound during the Knicks exhibition opener in Philadelphia in Abu Dhabi. He was frequently listed as day-to-day from there on out and did not appear in any further games. So Josh Hart also dealing with an injury. Josh Hart, our grinder, our hustler, wasn't great versus the Indiana Pacers, but we still love you, Josh Hart. Keep going crazy. It's a back lumbar spasms for Josh Hart is the official diagnosis. We are going to see, no Josh Hart to start the season. He's probably going to be unhappy with the way the minutes are going, because we know this is a player who can handle a high number of minutes, but he's not going to see as many minutes as he is used to seeing, or maybe wants to play less minutes. But knowing Josh Hart, the dude's an absolute competitive sicko, and I expect that though these minutes, I'm not saying he's going to be disgruntled or anything like that, but he might be the only guy that is like, man, I wish Tibbs was here, because then I could run up those hustle stats again, run up my minutes. Because Josh Hart, you can only respect what Josh Hart is doing, hustling, and just the best rebounder in the league for his height, 4 years in a row. But coming from Sports Illustrated to finish this off, the Knicks could also go small with the incumbent sixth-man Miles McBride, with potential newcomers Jordan Clarkson and Gershon Yabusele could be likewise considered. So that's just talking about more guys that could help to fill in the gap for Josh Hart when he is going out. Josh Hart being a guard, we're going to be seeing more guard minutes. And that's where Jordan Clarkson, the first, I believe the first offseason pickup for the New York Jets, the first free agency pickup when that opened, Jordan Clarkson expected to be a microwave scorer off the bench, someone that is going to make it so when Jalen Brunson is gone, it's not going to look like the last couple of years where the offense just looks absolutely lost. We're going to have someone who is going to be able to still put up points himself, but more importantly, make sure the entire offense is moving in a way that is functioning and a way that can actually score basketball points. Also, Deuce McBride, you got to love Deuce McBride. He is defensively great. He locks guys down, pest. But, the question is, did Tyler Kolek make it in a little bit? I don't expect him to make it, unless someone else gets injured or the Knicks are up a ton of points or down a couple points tonight versus the Cavaliers. Tyler Kolek still needs a bit of development when it comes to him fleshing out his role as a true point guard. That is also Kolek. You can't expect to see him at the 2 guard. Looking at the way that he shot, over the summer, just a little bit disappointing where his development is so far. But he still got time to work this thing out. Only going into his second year in the NBA out of Marquette. Although, he is an older second-year player, but still got time to work it out. There will be minutes. It's a long NBA season. Guys are going to be injured, and we're going to need everyone to contribute. But definitely, when we're looking at the guards, Jordan Clarkson is the number one guy that we want to look at in terms of scoring off the bench. Although Deuce McBride is going to be a great 3-and-D option should we want to rotate to that way. But the New York Knicks are about to take on this Cavalier team. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Hopefully, the new head coaching change, it is going to be, it's not going to be perfect to start the year. We have to remember that. Also, one more thing I forgot to mention. For the Cavaliers, Max Strus and Darius Garland are also out. So they're not fully healthy either. But whoever's healthy for either side, unless it's Donovan Mitchell or Jalen Brunson or Karl-Anthony Towns, unless it's a really, really big name like that, really no excuses. The Cavaliers are currently the favorite to win the Eastern Conference. Let's go out and show them that, at least tonight, you can't win anything tonight other than the game. You can't win the whole Eastern Conference, but the Knicks can go out, make a statement in the first game of the season, and I absolutely cannot wait to watch it. But that's what I got for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, which you gotta be because it's the first video. Go Knicks.